Good afternoon, everyone. Let's begin with your doubts. So, if you have any doubts, let's begin with that. Okay, there is one doubt in substantive procedure. Let me just solve that and then we go to a new standard. I'm reading that statement for you. Please pay attention. It is on SA 500, page number 105. It says substantive procedures are designed to detect material misstatement at the assertion level. So yesterday we have also discussed what is the assertion level. After that, they comprise test of details and substantive analytical procedures. So we talk about test of details in substantive procedures and we talk about test of controls in compliance procedures. So here, since we are talking about substantive procedures, we are talking about the test of details, which means the test of the transactions, the accuracy of the data, and also substantive analytical procedures. This also we have discussed. What is substantive analytical procedures? Analytical procedures means the accounting ratios that you have. So that is what SA 500 talks about. Designing substantive procedures will include identifying the conditions relevant to the purpose of the audit that constitute a misstatement in the relevant assertion. So if you feel anywhere that at the assertion level there is some kind of risk involved, and then when you try to locate that risk, that is somewhere that you are talking about the substantive procedures. So in the substantive procedures, you identify conditions relating to test of details where you feel there can be a misstatement at the assertion level, right? So these were the four lines that you wanted me to repeat in SA 500. I hope that is now clear, and if you're clear with that, we can now proceed. So I hope you all are clear with that. You are clear with this. So if you look at the last line, it says you identify conditions relevant to the purpose of the test that constitutes misstatement in the relevant assertion. So say for example, see they've given an example drafted to you. Say for example, the physical verification needs to be done of a building. Now first you want to check whether the building is in the name of the company and the building has been properly recorded in the fixed register. Now let's continue with this example itself. When you go to conduct the audit, when you go to understand the entity, you ask them that have you prepared a proper fixed asset register. They said that we do not maintain a fixed asset register, which means a proper book, uh, a proper detailed register containing the details of the fixed assets is not present. This gives you some doubt that the fixed assets may not be registered properly because the basic book to register the fixed assets is not being maintained. Now this will give you some indication that there is a misstatement. But is there a misstatement in the internal controls? No, the internal controls are properly. Now also understand the concept of internal controls in this. Say for example, there is an internal control in the company that whenever you buy an asset, you need three people to authorize that transaction. One is your chief financial officer, one is your managing director, and one is your independent director. Say for example, this is the norm of the company, and these three people need to sign in, only then you can purchase a fixed asset. Now if someone is not following this, then you say internal control is not there. But if this entire thing is followed, but there is a problem somewhere in recording the purchase of fixed asset, then there is a problem in test of details. So in this case, what will happen is you will try and look at the test of details, and not maintaining a fixed asset register will give you some hint of the conditions. It will give you some indication of, or some hint of the conditions that there may be a misstatement at the assertion level. So when you try and check those in details, that is known as test of details, also known as your substantive audit procedure. Right. So I hope this example solves your doubt, and now you are thoroughly clear with this. Okay, perfect. Fine. Come to SF 501. Let's begin with a new standard. So 501 is an extension of SA 500. In SA 500, we studied about audit evidence. In SA 501, we are speaking about specific considerations for selected items. So there are three selected items that the standard talks about. So SA 501 talks about three selected items. In those three selected items, the first one is inventory. मतलब जब भी इन्वेंट्री की बात आएगी और ऑडिट एविडेंस की बात आएगी, आप 500 की जगह 501 फॉलो करेंगे. Second, they talk about litigations and claims. And the third they talk about is segment reporting. ये तीन चीज का ऑडिट एविडेंस कौन कवर करता है? SA 501. और बाकी सारे ऑडिट एविडेंसेस कौन कवर कर रहे हैं? SA 500. I hope this is clear. One is covered by the other audit evidences, how to obtain them, what are audit evidences, all the basics of audit evidences are covered by SA 500. How, see the heading says specific considerations for some selected items. Selected items, ये तीन चीजें, वो कौन cover करता है audit evidence में? SA 501. Right, so 501 is nothing but an extension of 500, where 500 covers all the basic and other elements. 501 is only specific to three items. One is inventory, one is litigations and claims, and the other is your segment reporting. Right, let's go to 501 and let's quickly understand how this standard has been framed. Look at question number 1. What is the objective of essay of the auditor under this essay? According to SA 501, the objective of the auditor is again very important, to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. I told you this is nothing new. This is only the extension of what you have studied in 500. So you studied in 500 that audit evidence कैसा होना चाहिए? Sufficient and appropriate audit evidence होना चाहिए. अब sufficient and appropriate audit evidence तो वहां पे भी था, यहाँ पे भी है. दोनों में difference क्या है? यहाँ पे it is specific only to those three things. देखो क्या दिया हुआ है? Is to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidences regarding the existence and condition of inventory, the completeness of litigations and claims involving the entity, and presentation and disclosure of segment information in accordance with the applicable financial reporting framework. Can someone on the chat box tell me what is the applicable financial reporting framework for segment reporting? Someone on your chat box, if you can tell me what is the applicable financial reporting framework for segment reporting? What is the applicable FRF for segment reporting? If someone can tell me that on the chat box. Yes, AS 17, we've already done that. So this standard will ensure that you're following AS 17 properly when you record segment reporting. So again, that is an important point, that you must adhere to AS 17. That is your applicable financial reporting framework. Right, again, the first question talks about what is the objective of the auditor. The objective of the auditor, as in SA 500, is the same, that you must obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. However, in 501, you will obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence about three things. First is existence and condition of inventory. Second, completeness of litigations and claims involving the entity. And presentation and disclosure of segment reporting. How? As per the applicable financial reporting framework. Again, first point, inventory के बारे में क्या obtain करना है? Sufficient appropriate audit evidence. किस चीज का? Regarding existence and condition both of the inventory. So existence and condition both we must ensure about the inventory. So first our focus will be existence and condition of inventory. Second, we want to ensure completeness, मतलब सारी तरीके से सब कुछ रिकॉर्ड हुआ है. Completeness of litigations and claims involving the entity. तो कंपनी पे कोई क्लेम चल रहा है, कंपनी पे कोई केस चल रहा है, any litigation on or claim which involves the company. See, they've used the word involving the company. मतलब कंपनी ने केस किया है तो भी हमको ध्यान में लेना है, कंपनी के ऊपर केस हुआ है तो भी हमको ध्यान में लेना है. Understand the language they've used. They have not said completeness of litigations and claims on the entity. They are saying involving the entity. मतलब entity ने भी किसी पर केस किया है तो भी company involved है. So in that case, you will have to note that also, that completeness and litigations of claims involving the entity will have to be taken care of. And the third point, you have to ensure presentation and disclosure of what? Of segment reporting. So we will see presentation and disclosure of segment reporting. How? As per the applicable financial reporting framework. So we will have to quickly ensure that that financial reporting framework is as per the the segment reporting disclosures and presentation is as per the applicable FRF. So we will ensure that, and then we can ensure that we have obtained sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. Are you getting it? Okay, quickly, let's put these 3 points. The first question is, what is the objective of the auditor? So first question talks about objective of the auditor, right? Do make notes along with me. For everything I'm writing an example over here. Please ensure you are also writing that somewhere in your notebook so that you can quickly revise and understand each concept at the time of revision. Objective क्या है? To obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence regarding three things. First, existence and condition of inventory. क्या करना है? क्या पता करना है? Existence and condition of inventory. Second, you have to know. Second, you have to ensure that the litigations and claims that are involved, that the company is involved, has been properly disclosed. So second is again completeness of litigations and claims involving the entity. And the third one talks about presentation and disclosure. Presentation and disclosure of what? Segment information. कैसे होना चाहिए वो? As per the applicable financial reporting framework. Are you getting it? ये तीन चीज को के बारे में sufficient and appropriate audit evidence obtain करना हमारा objective. Are you getting it? Okay, let's go to the next question then. Let's begin with the first point. Part A, inventory. Question number 2. Mark this, very important last day revision question. Question number 2, very important last day revision question. Question number 2, important last day revision question. I'm reading the question for you. It says, what are the considerations required for an auditor while obtaining audit evidences regarding inventory? So your question is, considerations for an auditor while obtaining audit evidence regarding. It says क्या क्या बातें ध्यान में रखनी पड़ेगी जब आप इन्वेंट्री का ऑडिट एविडेंस इकट्ठा कर रहे हो. Right, I hope you understand the question. It says, what are the points that you will have to take into account? What are the considerations when you collect audit evidence regarding inventory? ध्यान देना. First point, according to SA 501, when inventory is material to financial statements, the auditor should obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence regarding existence and condition of inventory. ये तो हमने ऊपर ही ऑब्जेक्टिव में पढ़ लिया कि जब भी इन्वेंट्री मटेरियल हमको क्या करना पड़ेगा, उसकी एग्जिस्टेंस और कंडीशन दोनों का sufficient appropriate audit evidence obtain करना पड़ेगा. So we will have to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence regarding existence and condition of inventory. The question is, how will you do it? The first point, you will have to ensure attendance at physical inventory counting. Please understand, उन्होंने ऐसा नहीं बोला कि आप जाके खुद इन्वेंट्री काउंटिंग करो. वो क्या बोल रहे हैं, जब भी इन्वेंट्री काउंटिंग हो रहा है आप वहां पे प्रेजेंट रहना. मींस attendance at physical inventory counting. So that's my first point. The first thing that I should do is attendance at physical inventory counting. The first thing that I have to do is I have to ensure कि जब भी इन्वेंट्री का काउंटिंग चल रहा है, that time I am present over there. So I will be ensuring that I am present whenever physical inventory is being counted, unless impractical to. So you have to ensure attend a physical inventory counting unless it is impractical to do so, and evaluate management's instruction and procedures for recording and controlling the results of the entity's physical inventory counting. मतलब मैं सबसे पहले क्या करूंगा, मैं वहां पे खड़े रहूंगा और देखूंगा, मतलब ऑब्जर्व करूंगा. क्या करूंगा मैं? ऑब्जर्व ऑल्सो नोन एज I will evaluate. I'll try to understand. I will evaluate what? Management's decision. I will evaluate management's instructions. देखो वो क्या बोल रहे हो? Management's instruction and procedures. So I will evaluate management's instructions and procedures. मैं देखता हूँ वो लोग क्या समझाते हैं अपने स्टाफ को, कैसे इन्वेंट्री काउंट कर रहे हैं और क्या क्या इंस्ट्रक्शंस दे रहे हैं. So I will evaluate management's instructions and procedures for what? For recording. Instructions and procedures for what? For recording and controlling. For recording and controlling the results of physical inventory counting. For physical inventory counting. Okay, let's take an example. Say for example, we are the auditors. We go to conduct the audit of a company, say for example A Limited, which has huge inventory. Now because it has huge inventory, we decide that inventory is material, and because inventory is material, we decide we must obtain audit evidence about it. Can someone tell me किस type का audit evidence obtain करना होता है? On the chat box, everyone, can you tell me what kind of audit evidence do we have to collect? किस type का audit evidence होना चाहिए if the inventory is material? What kind of audit evidence should I obtain? On your chat box, what kind of audit evidence should I obtain? हर जगह पढ़ा है. What kind of audit evidence do you need? You need sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. Very good. Can someone explain to me the meaning of sufficient? Can someone explain to me the meaning of sufficient? Meaning of sufficient? Sufficient means enough quantity. Very good. And what about appropriateness? What about appropriateness? Appropriateness means quality. Very good. Excellent. So let's continue with our example. We are the auditors of a company known as A Limited. We go to A Limited to conduct the audit. Now, when we go to A Limited to conduct the audit, we find that inventory is very material and inventory is huge. So we decide to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. सबसे पहले मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा? I should attend physical inventory count. मतलब मैं मैनेजमेंट को ऐसा कहूंगा कि whenever you take inventory, inform us in advance, we will attend. तो मैनेजमेंट ने मुझे बोला कि सर हम 22 अप्रैल 2020 को सुबह 10 बजे इन्वेंट्री लेने वाले हैं. We are going to take inventory. So because I know that on 22nd April they are going to take inventory, I will plan the audit accordingly. I will make my audit plan accordingly, right? So at 10 a.m. I know that they are going to conduct the audit. They are going to conduct the physical verification, and because they are conducting the physical verification, in this case, I will ensure that I am available on 22nd April and I attend the inventory count. When I am attending the inventory count, सबसे पहले मुझे क्या देखना है? मुझे ये देखना है कि मैनेजमेंट इंस्ट्रक्शंस क्या देता है और प्रोसीजर क्या फॉलो करता है. Regarding what? Regarding recording and controlling results of फिजिकल इन्वेंट्री काउंट। इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, ध्यान देना। ऑन योर चैट बॉक्स आई एम आस्किंग यू अ क्वेश्चन. I am standing over there and inventory is being counted. There is one store manager who is taking the inventory along with the finance guy. The store manager's name is, say for example, B. B is checking each and every item. He is checking each and every item. He knows where each and every item is kept, and he is ensuring proper storage of the same. राइट, आई एम रिपीटिंग. मैं खड़ा हूं वहां पे, फिजिकल इन्वेंट्री काउंट को अटेंड कर रहा हूँ. फिजिकल इन्वेंट्री काउंट कर कौन रहा है? मैनेजमेंट कर रहा है. मैं क्यों अटेंड कर रहा हूँ? क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि इन्वेंट्री मटेरियल है, तो मुझे सफिशिएंट अप्रोप्रिएट ऑडिट एविडेंस ऑब्टेन करना चाहिए. वो करने के लिए मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ? आई एम अटेंडिंग अ फिजिकल इन्वेंट्री काउंट. At the physical inventory count, I find that there is a person B who has proper knowledge of the inventory. He is checking each and every item and knows where each and every item is kept, and he is also ensuring proper storage. Plus, he is counting and recording in inventory properly. Right. Moreover, if, say for example, the stock statement says कि एक पर्टिकुलर आइटम के 10 पीसेस होने चाहिए और फिजिकली 8 पीसेस निकलते हैं, then B records that 2 pieces not found. Are you getting it? B क्या करता है? फिर से बता रहा हूँ, एक एक आइटम चेक करता है. उसको पता है कौन सी आइटम कहाँ पड़ी है, उसको ये भी पता है कि वो प्रॉपर्ली स्टोर हो रही है या नहीं. वो काउंटिंग बराबर कर रहा है, वो रिकॉर्डिंग बराबर कर रहा है. रिकॉर्डिंग का मतलब क्या है? अगर स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट में 8 चीज लिखी हुई है, पर फिजिकली स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट में 10 चीज लिखी हुई है कि यूनिट एम के 10 पीस पड़े होने चाहिए, लेकिन 8 पीस निकलते हैं, वो तो ऐसा लिखता है कि 2 पीस नॉट फाउंड, और वो अपने उस स्टेटमेंट को टिक करके जाने नहीं देता. वो उसको रिमार्क करके लिख के रखता है, और देन ही ट्राइज टू फाइंड आउट वेयर आर दोस 2 पीसेस. राइट, दिस इज one person who is B. Let's go to another person, C. C does not know what inventory is what and where is it kept. सी को कुछ पता ही नहीं है. कोई उसको ऐसा पूछता है ये टाइप का ऑयल का है, तो उसको वो बात पता ही नहीं है. उसको पता ही नहीं है कौन सी इन्वेंट्री कहाँ पड़ी है, उसको कौन सी इन्वेंट्री, किस इन्वेंट्री को क्या कहते हैं वो भी नहीं पता उसको. वो खाली बाहर से खड़ा है, वो सबको बोल रहा है फटाफट चेक करो, काम खत्म करो. अगर मान लो कोई आइटम के 10 यूनिट्स होने चाहिए और 8 यूनिट मिलते हैं, तो वो कहता है ठीक है 2 यूनिट ही कम है, कोई बात नहीं. आई ही विल टिक दैट आइटम एंड लेट इट गो. He will make no remarks. My question to you is, who according to you is conducting a better physical inventory count, B or C? My question to you is, who is conducting a better inventory count? Of course B. Why? Because one, he is ensuring proper storage. He is ensuring that inventory is kept properly. He is recording the inventory properly. Now you have to observe as the auditor what is their control over physical inventory count. वो results को कैसे maintain कर रहे हैं, वो results को कैसे संभाल कर रहे हैं. Right, that is very important to understand. Right, so you will ensure that B is conducting that. B is definitely someone who is doing the work properly. Now if you are conducting, if you are attending the physical inventory count and B is doing the physical inventory count, then you will have no problem, because your confidence will increase, because B is doing it exactly in the correct manner. However, if you talk about C, you will not be in a position to give proper audit opinion, because C is not conducting the physical inventory count properly. Are you getting it? Okay. Example number 2. Dhyan dena. This is the first example of this. Let's go to example number 2. Physical inventory count. मान लो हमारे कंपनी में बी ही फिजिकल इन्वेंट्री काउंट कर रहा है. बी, क्योंकि बी कर रहा है डेफिनेटली इट इज रिलायबल. ओके, बी फिजिकल इन्वेंट्री काउंट कर रहा है और ये फिजिकल इन्वेंट्री काउंट 100% रिलायबल है क्योंकि बी बिल्कुल सही तरीके से इसको फॉलो कर रहा है. अब देखो क्या हुआ, गलती सिर्फ बी की एक है. बी क्या करता है, सारे रिकॉर्ड्स लिख के रखता है एंड ही रिकॉर्ड्स देम विद अ पेंसिल. सब कुछ जो भी कितने कम है, कितने यूनिट्स में प्रॉब्लम है, कितने का स्टोरेज सही नहीं है, कितने यूनिट बिगड़ गए, कितने यूनिट ऑब्सोलीट हो गए, कितने यूनिट फेंकने पड़ेंगे, कहाँ कहाँ स्टोर कीपर ने ध्यान नहीं रखा है और हमको वो यूनिट्स में लॉस हुआ है, एवरीथिंग इज प्रॉपरली रिकॉर्डेड. ध्यान देना इस बात पे, एवरीथिंग इज थॉरली एंड प्रॉपरली रिकॉर्डेड, right? So what, everything, each and every point is thoroughly recorded, but the mistake B does is that whenever B goes for a break or whenever B ends the day to continue the next day, he keeps his records of inventory in the store itself, and the other storekeepers can access that. My question to you is it safe? And if it is not safe, what is the risk? Is it safe? My first question to you is that are those records safe over there? If they are safe, good, I have no problem. If they are not safe, what is the risk? I want to understand that. Okay, one answer says no, there can be manipulation. The other one says not safe, anyone can alter the records. Absolutely correct. The third says there is a risk of data alteration. Someone says no, data can be altered. So everyone is correct. It is not safe because anyone has the access to the books, they can share it. Now I'm drawing your attention again on this statement. What do you have to check? यहाँ पे ध्यान देना. First point, see, I'm highlighting this for you, please pay attention. It says you have to attend physical inventory count. Whenever you take inventory, you will inform in advance. What is that thing that you will check? ये रहा देखो, you will ensure proper recording and control of what, of results of physical inventory counting. आपने physical inventory count सही से कर लिया, आपने वो ढंग से रिकॉर्ड, आपने ढंग से रिकॉर्ड भी कर लिया, लेकिन आपने ढंग से उसको स्टोर नहीं किया है. You have no proper control over the results. The results means the stock records that you have obtained. You have no proper control of the results of physical inventory counting. Since you have no proper records of physical inventory counting, in this case, it is very difficult to ensure that the management is doing their work properly, because the stock records, even though the stock is done, the stock audit is done in a perfect manner, even though there are no mistakes, but there is a risk that that anyone can easily alter those records. So again, you will have to ensure as the auditor that recording and controlling of results is properly managed by the entity. Are you getting it? Again, your first point, you must do what? You must attend physical inventory counting to do what? To evaluate management's instruction and procedures. Management's instructions and procedures for what? For recording and controlling the entity's physical inventory counting. Are you getting it? That's your first point. Come to the second point. This is your first point. Now I'm writing the second point. ध्यान देना. अब ये सारे पॉइंट्स एक दूसरे से कनेक्टेड होंगे. मैंने आपको पूरा एक पिक्चर एग्जांपल देके समझा दिया. नाउ यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड द अदर पॉइंट्स आल्सो इजीली. देखो क्या बोल रहे हैं. Observe the performance of management's count procedure. So you will observe the performance of management's count procedure. आप देखोगे वो किस तरीके से काउंटिंग कर रहा है. क्या वो हैपहैज़र्ड काउंटिंग कर रहा है या एग्जैक्ट काउंटिंग कर रहा है. क्या वो ऊपर ऊपर से गिन रहा है या एग्जैक्ट एक एक यूनिट निकाल के प्रॉपर्ली चेक कर रहा है. यू विल ऑब्जर्व द मैनेजमेंट्स इन्वेंटरी काउंट प्रोसीजर. Okay, look at the third point. Sometimes when you look at the stock statement, you will also come to know the value of that item. Now, when you come to know the value of that item, and if you feel that the item is of high value, you can also go and physically yourself inspect that inventory कि इसको ढंग से maintain किया है या नहीं. मान लो एक example देता हूँ. Say for example, you talk about storing of liquids, storing of oil. Now you are afraid that oil being a liquid can be spilled anywhere. So it needs to be maintained properly. So you can go and inspect inventory, right? So in that case, the auditor will himself go and inspect the inventory. One more example. Say for example, you come to know that there is a particular liquid which needs to be kept under refrigeration. So you will ensure कि वो वाला जो oil है वो fridge में ही पड़ा है. So you will go and physically inspect whether it has been properly stored and whether the quantity is appropriate or not. Right? See, that's your third point. Come to the third point. You will inspect the inventory. Inspect the inventory whether it is being properly maintained or not. And fourth, जैसे मैंने बोला कि अगर कोई high value item है, आपको उसका physical condition और आपको check करना है कि ये सही है या नहीं. So if the stock statement says 10 units, you will also perform the count and you will ensure that 10 units are actually there. That's your last point. You will perform test counts. So your next point is perform. You will perform test counts in that case. Are you understanding? What all will you do? First, you will observe the management's instructions and procedures for recording and controlling the results of the inventory. Second, you will observe the performance of management's count. Third, you will inspect the inventory. And fourth, you will perform test counts. Are you getting it? Very important question this is. What is the question? See, I'm reading it again for you. Pay attention to the first part of the answer. The question says, what considerations are required for an auditor while obtaining audit evidence regarding inventory? तो जब आपको inventory का audit evidence obtain करना है तो किन बातों का आप ध्यान रखेंगे? First, the auditor will obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding existence and condition of the inventory. कैसे करेंगे? First, he will attend physical inventory count. What will he do when he attends physical inventory count? He will do four things. First, he will evaluate management क्या instruction दे रहा है और कैसे वो results को control कर रहा है. Second, he will observe the performance of the management's count procedure. Third, he will inspect the inventory. Fourth, he will perform test counts. And next point देखो, performing audit procedures over the entity's final inventory records to determine whether they are accurately reflected, whether they accurately reflect the actual inventory count records. So next, fifth point, compare final inventory records with inventory records with inventory statements of the entity. Right? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि मान लो यूनिट ए है, उसका बुक्स में स्टॉक 10 है, एक्चुअली 5 है. ध्यान देना. यूनिट बी, उसका बुक्स में स्टॉक 5 है, एक्चुअली 5 है. यूनिट सी, उसका बुक्स में स्टॉक 20 है, एक्चुअली 15 है. Now in this case, when you have actually 15, you have to first find out where is the discrepancy. If you finalize कि नहीं नहीं ये 5 ही correct है और ये 15 ही correct है, then in the final inventory records, the auditor must ensure कि 5 and 15 is recorded. You cannot say नहीं नहीं चलेगा, हमने वहां तो calculate किया है. That makes no sense. If you have calculated 5 over here, you have to ensure that this 5 is correctly recorded in the financial statement. So that is also something that the auditor will have to cross check. So that's your last point. See what they've given. In the last point, they're explaining you will perform audit procedures over the entity's final inventory records to do what? To determine whether they are accurately reflecting the actual inventory count results. Are you getting it? So you will ensure that actually you're actually and properly calculating the inventory and checking that they have been properly reflected in the final inventory records. So final inventory records ka checking becomes very important in this case. Are you getting it? Okay, again I'm repeating these points for you. Very important question this is, so please pay attention. It says question क्या पूछ रहा है, किन किन बातों का ध्यान रखना पड़ता है when the auditor wants to obtain audit evidences regarding inventory. क्या करना पड़ेगा अगर ऑडिटर को लगता है कि इन्वेंट्री मटेरियल है, अगर ऑडिटर को लगता है कि मुझे इसके बारे में sufficient appropriate audit evidence obtain करना चाहिए, in that case the first thing that the auditor will do is he will attend physical inventory counting. मतलब जहाँ पे मैनेजमेंट इन्वेंट्री काउंटिंग कर रहा है वहां पे ऑडिटर जाके अटेंड करेगा, देखेगा। और क्या देख के क्या करेगा? 5 चीजें करेगा। First, he will evaluate the management's instruction and procedures regarding what? मैनेजमेंट के इंस्ट्रक्शन और प्रोसीजर को इवेल्युएट करेगा कि वो इंस्ट्रक्शन और प्रोसीजर सही है या नहीं। पर किस बारे में इंस्ट्रक्शन एंड प्रोसीजर्स? रिगार्डिंग रिकॉर्डिंग एंड कंट्रोलिंग द रिजल्ट्स ऑफ द एंटिटीज फिजिकल इन्वेंटरी काउंटिंग। जो रिजल्ट्स हमने ऑब्टेन किए ऑडिट करके, क्या वो प्रॉपर्ली मेंटेन हो रहे हैं? दैट इज समथिंग दैट यू विल हैव टू record in this case. So you will try and record the entities. You will ensure the recording and control over the entities physical inventory counting records. Second point, you will observe the performance of the management's count procedure. So you will see how the management is performing the count procedure. Are they counting everything? Are they accurately counting each and everything? That is all you will perform. For some selected items, you will go and inspect the inventory. You will try to find out whether the inventory has been correctly recorded or not. And finally you will also perform test counts. So आपको कोई item लगती है कि ये बहुत important है या ये sensitive है या इसमें risk हो सकता है, so you will perform the test count on that particular audit, on that particular thing. And finally you will ensure कि जब हमारा physical inventory count हो गया है, तो जो भी हमने changes record किए हैं stock statement में, वो inventory के final records में incorporate हो जाने चाहिए। अगर वो फाइनल रिकॉर्ड्स में इनकॉर्पोरेट नहीं होते, इसका मतलब है आपके ऑडिट का कोई बेनिफिट नहीं है, क्योंकि आप ऑडिट करके डिस्क्रिपेंसी ढूंढ रहे हो, ऑडिट रिकॉर्ड्स को अपडेट कर रहे हो, चेंज कर रहे हो, लेकिन वो चीज फाइनल इन्वेंटरी रिकॉर्ड्स में आती ही नहीं है। क्योंकि वो चीज फाइनल इन्वेंटरी रिकॉर्ड्स में नहीं आती है, वो चीज आपकी इन्वेंट्री मतलब आपकी बैलेंस शीट में प्रॉपर्ली रिकॉर्ड होगी ही नहीं, which means again the books of accounts will not give you a true and fair view. And because the books of accounts will not give you a true and fair view, it makes no sense to conduct all these audit procedures in this manner if it cannot be properly reflected in the financial statements. Are you getting it? Right, okay. Quickly tell me on the chat box, are you clear with this? Are you able to understand this? Are you clear with this? Right, so let me know if you're clear with this so that we can proceed ahead. Okay, if you're clear with this, let's proceed with the next part, which is again a very interesting part that they have introduced in SA 501. See the last paragraph that they have given. ध्यान से समझना, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग पैराग्राफ है और अपन इसको प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल से समझेंगे तो पूरा कंसेप्ट पता चलेगा. बट बिफोर दैट, see the words that they have used in the provision. So please pay full attention to this. It says, it should be noted that if physical inventory counting is conducted at a day other than the date of the financial statements, the auditor shall, in addition to the above procedures, perform additional audit procedures to obtain audit evidence whether changes in inventory between the counting date and the date of the financial statements are properly recorded. Very good point they have mentioned. Let's take the example. Can someone tell me on the chat box usually when inventory counting should be done? Which date? On which date should inventory counting be done? Usually, practically, when inventory counting is done? When do you do inventory counting? 31st March. Okay. Absolutely correct. On 31st March. Now, I'll give you an example. What practically happens at all the places, I'll give you an example. So, please pay attention. My year ends on 31st March 2020. So I want to conduct physical inventory as on 31st March 2020. Now I cannot conduct on 31st March 2020 because 31st March 2020 को भी मैं कुछ सेल कर रहा हूँ. तो उसका रिकॉर्ड मैं कब कर सकता हूँ? 31st मार्च 2020 खत्म हो गया उसके बाद कर सकता हूँ. तो मैं क्या करता हूँ, ध्यान देना. मैं 1 अप्रैल और मैं 1 अप्रैल just give me a moment. Okay, on 1st April 2020, what I do is I close my business operations. उस दिन मैं ऑडिट नहीं करता हूँ, उस दिन मैं बिजनेस नहीं करता हूँ, मेरा बिजनेस उस दिन बंद रखता हूँ. क्यों? क्योंकि हम लोग स्टॉक काउंटिंग करते हैं. बहुत सारी जगह पे आपको ऐसा पता चलता होगा कि आज डिस्पैचेस बंद है. क्यों? क्योंकि स्टॉक काउंट हो रहा है. एंड इफ यू रियलाइज प्रैक्टिकली, इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट कि जब आप फिजिकल इन्वेंट्री काउंट प्रैक्टिकली कर रहे हो तो स्टॉक मूव नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर स्टॉक उस दिन मूव हुआ तो आपकी कैलकुलेशन करने में गलती होगी. तो क्या होता है, कई बार आपको मैनेजमेंट कहेगा इधर 5 यूनिट पड़े, 5 यूनिट कहीं और पड़े. तो आप बोलोगे ठीक है, अभी मैं लिख देता हूँ 50 में से 45 यूनिट्स मिल गए, 5 यूनिट कहाँ पड़े आप मुझे बाद में दिखाना. इतने में आपको पता नहीं चलेगा, वो यही 45 में से 5 यूनिट जाके कोई और रूम में रख देगा और वहां पे आपको बोलेगा देखो ये जो 5 यूनिट कम थे ये वो यहाँ पे पड़े, पर एक्चुअली ये वो 45 के ही 5 यूनिट है जो इसने मैनिपुलेट करके अब यहाँ पे रख दिया और वो आपको गलत इन्फॉर्मेशन दे रहा है. इन दीज केसेस व्हेन दे टेल यू कि वो दूसरे रूम में पड़ा है, यू विल ऑलवेज टेल देम एक काम करो जाके इस रूम में ले आओ. सारा स्टॉक एक ही टाइप का एक ही जगह पे रखो. डोंट स्कैटर द स्टॉक, कीप इट एट वन प्लेस. Are you getting it? So usually it is ideally always said this way, that whenever you do physical inventory count, for God's sake, do not move your stock. Keep your stock at that place. So because it is ideal to not to move your stock. You will keep your stock at that very place, and because you keep your stock at that very place, you will have to close your business operations. तो आप 1 अप्रैल को क्या करते हो? बिजनेस ऑपरेशंस बंद करते हो और उस दिन यू काउंट द स्टॉक. अब देखो होता क्या है, अपन उस दिन स्टॉक पूरा काउंट कर देते हैं और स्टॉक काउंट करने के बाद उसके बाद ही हम मूवमेंट चालू करते हैं. मतलब 31 मार्च खत्म हुआ और स्टॉक काउंट हुआ, उसके बीच में कोई मूवमेंट नहीं होता. नाउ दिस इज द मोस्ट आइडियल सिचुएशन टू कैलकुलेट स्टॉक. दिस इज द मोस्ट आइडियल सिचुएशन टू कैलकुलेट. लेकिन मान लो, एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं, मान लो 31 मार्च 2020 को आपका बिजनेस आपका फाइनेंशियल ईयर क्लोज हुआ. आपके पास सबसे ज्यादा ऑर्डर है 1 अप्रैल 2020 to 5 अप्रैल 2020. You have the entire 5 days. You are thoroughly tied up with work. आपके पास constant orders है. तो आप क्या सोचोगे? आप ऐसा नहीं बोलोगे कि मैं कस्टमर को जाने दूंगा, पहले मैं स्टॉक गिनूंगा. That is wrong. If you think from a businessman's viewpoint, he will say पहले business, ये stock walk हम बाद में count कर लेंगे. So the owner of the business will give priority to his customers, will ensure that he makes the dispatches. Once the workload is over, then maybe on 6th April he will keep the business closed and he will ensure that the stock is completely counted. राइट. मान लीजिए आपका कोई ऑनगोइंग साइट है, वहां पे आपका मटेरियल जा रहा है. अब कोई ऑनगोइंग साइट पे अगर आपका मटेरियल जा रहा है तो आप वो सप्लाई स्टॉप नहीं कर पाएंगे और आप ऐसा भी नहीं कर पाएंगे कि एक तरफ मैं सप्लाई करता हूँ और एक तरफ मैं स्टॉक गिनता हूँ. रॉन्ग. यू विल नेवर हैव एक्यूरेट कैलकुलेशन ऑफ स्टॉक इन दैट सिचुएशन. सो द मोस्ट आइडियल थिंग इज कि हम 5 अप्रैल तक पहले काम खत्म कर देते हैं. हम सारे लोगों को पहले से इन्फॉर्म करते हैं कि जो भी ऑर्डर है 5th तक दे दो, क्योंकि 6th को फिर छुट्टी रहेगी, क्योंकि हम स्टॉक कैलकुलेट करेंगे या स्टॉक काउंट करेंगे. 6th के बाद हम 7th को क्या करेंगे, फिर से आपका ऑर्डर डिस्पैच कर देंगे. पर 6th को आप हमको डिस्टर्ब मत करना, हम एक यूनिट भी हमारे गोडाउन से मूव नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि हमारा ऑडिट चल रहा होगा. Are you getting it? So you will speak in this way. Now the standard on auditing says that in this case audit or inventory count is not happening on a balance sheet date. It is happening on some other date which is known as 6th April 2020. आपका स्टॉक काउंट कब हो रहा है? 31 मार्च को नहीं हो रहा है, आपका स्टॉक काउंट हो रहा है 6 अप्रैल 2020 को। अब जब 6 अप्रैल 2020 को हो रहा है तो आप चेक कर रहे हो 6 अप्रैल 2020 को, लेकिन आप अपने रिकॉर्ड्स कब तक के अपडेट कर रहे हो? 31 मार्च 2020। इस केस में क्या करना पड़ता है उस बात का ध्यान देना। इस केस में आप ये करोगे कि 31 मार्च 2020 को स्टॉक में कितना दिखा रहा था। मान लो उस दिन स्टॉक में 50 यूनिट दिखा रहे थे। उसके बाद आपने 4 अप्रैल को कितना इशू किया, कितना सेल किया? आपने मान लो 4 अप्रैल को 10 यूनिट्स सेल की। इसका मतलब है 6 अप्रैल को जब हम स्टॉक गिनेंगे तो फिजिकली मेरे पास कितना होना चाहिए स्टॉक? 40। अब इस केस में आपके पास एक एडवांटेज है, आप क्रॉस चेक कर सकते हो। हमारे पास 40 था, इस दौरान मतलब 31 मार्च 2020 से लेके 5 अप्रैल 2020 के बीच तक हमने 10 यूनिट बेचे। अब क्योंकि मैं क्रॉस कैलकुलेशन कर रहा हूं, मैं 10 यूनिट ऐड करूंगा, मतलब 31 मार्च 2020 को मेरा कितना स्टॉक होना चाहिए? 50 यूनिट्स होने चाहिए। Are you getting it? So you will obtain this information. हम देखो ध्यान देना, हम information ये obtain कर रहे हैं, but we are using these two. How will you get? How can you cross check? 40 plus 10 will be 50. Let's take one more example. On 31st March 2020, say for example you had 100 units of a particular thing. आपके स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट में लिखा हुआ है 100 यूनिट थे। 6 अप्रैल को जब आपने चेक किया तो 80 यूनिट्स ही है। अब आपको क्वेश्चन आना चाहिए कि 100 यूनिट मेरे पास 31 मार्च को थे, 6 अप्रैल को जब मैं फिजिकल काउंटिंग कर रहा हूँ तो 80 यूनिट्स है, मतलब जरूर मैंने 20 यूनिट कभी ना कभी बेचे होंगे। तो आप सारे के सारे बिल चेक करोगे कि हमने कब बेचे, तो आपको पता चलेगा कि 3 अप्रैल 2020 को हमने 5 यूनिट बेचे थे, 4 अप्रैल 2020 को इसी चीज के 10 यूनिट हमने बेचे थे, और एंड फाइनली 5 अप्रैल 2020 को हमने बाकी के 5 यूनिट सेल किए थे। Now when you understand and when you evaluate this, you will come to know that okay, this is how the stock is being reconciled कि मेरे पास टोटल कितने यूनिट्स है? 80। 80 तो कब है? 6 अप्रैल को है, लेकिन स्टॉक कब तक का चेक करना है? 31 मार्च को। स्टॉक 31 मार्च को कितना है? 100 यूनिट्स है, मतलब 20 यूनिट का कहीं ना कहीं मूवमेंट हुआ है। कहाँ मूवमेंट हुआ है? ये 3 डेट पे उसके बिल दिख रहे हैं मुझे, तो ये 3 डेट पे उसके बिल बने हैं, मतलब मुझे पता चल जाएगा कि स्टॉक एक्यूरेट है। आज 80 दिख रहा है, 20 हमने बेचे जिसका जेन्युइन बिल बना हुआ है, वो 20 अगर मैं ऐड करूंगा तो मेरा 31 मार्च का स्टॉक 100 यूनिट्स मैच हो जाएगा। Are you understanding? Now I am reading that statement again for you and then we will take your doubt. So please pay attention. It says, I am reading it again for you. अच्छे से ध्यान देना. It should be noted that if physical inventory counting is conducted at a date other than the date of the financial statements, अगर फिजिकल इन्वेंट्री काउंटिंग अपन कंडक्ट करते हैं कोई ऐसी डेट पे जो 31 मार्च नहीं है, उसके अलावा की डेट है, so in addition to the above procedures, we will perform additional audit procedures. What will we perform additional audit procedures to obtain audit evidence whether, ध्यान देना, last statement very important, changes in inventory, इन्वेंट्री में जो भी चेंजेस हुए हैं कब? बिटवीन द काउंटिंग डेट, मतलब हमारे केस में 6 अप्रैल हमारा काउंटिंग डेट है। देखो मैं यहाँ पे लिखता हूँ आपके लिए, 6 अप्रैल इज व्हाट माय काउंटिंग डेट। 6th April is my counting date. Between the date, the counting date and the date when the financial statements are properly recorded. तो ये आपके financial statements की date है, ये आपके फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स की डेट है और ये आपके इन्वेंट्री काउंटिंग की डेट है। इन दोनों के बीच में जो भी डिफरेंस है 20 यूनिट्स का, वो प्रॉपर्ली क्या होना चाहिए? रिकंसाइल होना चाहिए। ये रहा, मैंने यहाँ पे क्या कर दिया, उसको रिकंसाइल कर दिया। Are you getting it? What did I do over here? I reconciled the difference between the date when I actually physically calculated inventory and the date on which the inventory was supposed to be counted. Are you getting it? Quickly on your chat box, everyone. Are you clear with this? And if you have any doubts, let's take that first. Are you clear with this? If you have a doubt, on your chat box, please, everyone. Okay, perfect. So if you're clear with this, it is right now 4:02. Let's quickly take a 5 minutes break. We will meet back again at 4:10, and then we begin with the next part of the questions. So quickly take a 5 or 8 minutes break. I will see you back sharp at 4:10, and then we continue with the remaining part of the snack. Right. So I'll see you back at 4:10. Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Come to question number 3. Question number 3. Now see, question number 3 is quite similar to question number 2, the last paragraph that we did. So let's quickly understand question number 3. See what it says. It says, the question says, what if the auditor is unable to attend the physical verification? मान लो auditor physical verification attend नहीं कर सकता, तो उस केस में auditor को क्या करना चाहिए? That's your question. Again, I am repeating. It says, what if the auditor is unable to attend physical verification? मान लो उन्होंने कहा हम तो 5th अप्रैल को physical verification करने वाले हैं, आप बोलते हो मैं उस दिन अवेलेबल नहीं हूँ, मैनेजमेंट बोलता है हमारे पास उसके अलावा कोई डेट अवेलेबल नहीं है, हमारा बिजनेस अफेक्ट हो गया, which means you are not able to attend the physical inventory count on the date when it is actually being conducted. What will you do? ध्यान दो, solution says, if the auditor is unable to attend physical inventory counting due to unforeseen circumstances, कोई इमरजेंसी आ गई, आप उस दिन अवेलेबल नहीं थे, ड्यू टू एनी ऑफ द सिचुएशंस, if the auditor is unable to attend physical inventory count due to any of the situations, in that case what you will do is, देखो क्या दिया हुआ है उन्होंने, if the auditor is unable to attend physical inventory counting due to unforeseen circumstances, the auditor should perform some physical count. Very important point, underline that. The audit, or write it in your notes. The important point is the auditor should perform some inventory counts. उसको क्या करना चाहिए? Randomly जाके कोई ना कोई test count करना चाहिए on an alternative day and should reconcile the issues and receipts. देखो यही बात समझा रहे हैं वो लोग वापस, आपने कितने इशू किए, कितना आपको रिसीव हुआ. I'll give you a better example than this. 31st March 2020 फिजिकल इन्वेंटरी काउंट हुआ 5/4/2020. आप उस दिन तो नहीं जा पाए, आप गए 15th अप्रैल 2020. अब वो ऐसा कह रहे हैं कि हो सकता है आपका 31st मार्च पे 100 यूनिट हो, इधर 80 यूनिट हो, अब आपके 95 यूनिट्स हो गए. नाउ इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड बोथ. इन दोनों के बीच का रिकंसाइल करना जरूरी है और इन दोनों के बीच का रिकंसाइल करना भी जरूरी है. विच मीन्स आप सबसे पहले देखो ये 100 से 80 कैसे हुआ, तो हमने 3rd of April को 20 यूनिट्स इशू किए. हमने क्या किए? 20 यूनिट्स इशू किए उस दिन, राइट. आगे ध्यान देना, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. हमने 3rd अप्रैल को 20 यूनिट्स इशू किए, उसके बाद आप 15th अप्रैल और इसके बीच में रिकंसाइल करोगे तो आपको ऐसा पता चला कि 10th अप्रैल को हमने यही स्टॉक परचेज किया है और 15 यूनिट्स यू परचेज्ड. आपको अगर चेक करना है कि ये दोनों चीजें एक्यूरेट है या नहीं, तो आप 20 यूनिट्स का सेल बिल मांगोगे, दैट विल बी योर ऑडिट एविडेंस, और यहाँ पे आप क्या मांगोगे? परचेज बिल. So physically you will try and verify these two. You will try and obtain audit evidence whether the difference between the two has been properly recorded and properly understood by the auditor. Are you getting it? तो आपको पहले तो इन दोनों का डिफरेंस रिकंसाइल करना है, फिर इन दोनों का डिफरेंस रिकंसाइल करना है. आप 100 से 80 पे कैसे पहुंचे और 80 से 95 पे कैसे पहुंचे? Are you getting it? So you will ensure and you will reconcile the receipts and issues. See, I'm again reading that sentence for you. If the auditor is unable to attend physical inventory counting due to unforeseen circumstances, the auditor should perform some physical counts on an alternative day and should reconcile the issues and receipts of items up to the year-end balance. So you will reconcile both and you will reach up to the year-end balances. Are you getting it? Right, I hope this is clear to you. Come to question number 4. Now question number 3 was similar to the last part of question number 2. Now let's see what they have asked you in question number 4. Again, a very good question to understand. Again, a practical case is something that we will look up to if you want to understand question number 4. So please pay attention. It says, what if, looking at the nature of the inventory, it is impractical to conduct the inventory counting? In such a case, sorry, I'm reading the question again for you. वो बोल रहे हैं कि what if, looking at the nature of the inventory, it is impractical to conduct inventory counting. Very important point. You remember I gave you the example of Welcome Hotel where they had the meat room. Now it was not possible to us to go for us to go and conduct the audit over there. Since it was not possible for us to go and conduct the audit over there, we decided not to go and conduct the audit in that case, right? And what did we do? We performed additional audit procedures. What did we do? We performed additional audit procedures. Now I'll give you a different example compared to this. Say for example, there are some units that are under production. ध्यान देना, अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है. वो एग्जाम्पल तो मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी समझा ही दिया है कि वेलकम होटल के मीट रूम में क्या इशू हुआ था. यू आर ऑलरेडी अवेयर ऑफ दैट. Same on same lines I am explaining a different answer to you. Some units are under production. When I say some units are under production, means they are WIP. The management tells you there are 50 units in WIP. आप उनको पूछते हो ये 50 यूनिट्स WIP में कहाँ है, तो वो कहते हैं हीटर में. ध्यान देना, वो क्या बोल रहे हैं आपको. 50, आपने पूछा 50 यूनिट्स कहाँ पे है. अब वो आपको कहते हैं कि हीटर में. हीटर क्या होता है? हीटर इज नथिंग बट अ बर्नर. एक बहुत बड़ा बर्नर है, उसमें नीचे उसमें आग जल रही है और अंदर वो प्रोडक्ट हीट हो रहा है. और अंदर आग के अंदर कितने यूनिट्स है? 50 यूनिट्स है. आप बोलते हो मुझे इसका फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन करना है. वो बोलेगा ठीक है, हीटर खोलो, आग जल रही है, अंदर हाथ डाल के गिन लो. इज इट प्रैक्टिकली पॉसिबल? नो. In this case, the auditor wants to check it. The management also wants that the auditor checks it. But the problem is, it is impracticable. Possible ही नहीं है. Impractical है ऐसा करना कि आग जल रही है और हम अंदर हाथ डाल के और 50 यूनिट्स निकाल के उसको कैलकुलेट करेंगे. That's not possible. It is practically not possible. It is impractical to calculate inventory in this case. The question is कि जब ऐसी सिचुएशन आएगी, जब आप ऑडिट करना चाहते हैं, आप फिजिकल इन्वेंट्री काउंट करना चाहते हैं, आपकी तरफ से कोई नेग्लिजेंस नहीं है, मैनेजमेंट भी आपको सपोर्ट कर रहा है, मैनेजमेंट भी आपको फिजिकल इन्वेंट्री काउंट करवाना चाहता है, वो भी आपको सपोर्ट कर रहा है, मैनेजमेंट के दिमाग में भी कोई फ्रॉड नहीं है. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज द सिचुएशन इज सच that it is impractical for anyone to go and conduct the audit. Not only you, any auditor in the world, he will not be able to open the burner. Forget about opening the burner. The heat of the burner is so much. It is approximately 200 300 degrees, right? We are not able to, over here we are not able to bear 40 degrees. The burner has 300 degrees of heat. You won't be able to go near by the burner. Forget about opening and checking, आप उसके आसपास भी नहीं जा पाओगे. That is why what happens is it is impractical for this person to go and conduct the audit in this case. What will he do in this case? Again the answer remains the same. He will perform additional audit procedures. मतलब what is the meaning of additional audit procedures? अगर कोई मटेरियल WIP में है, मतलब जरूर रॉ मटेरियल यूज होगा. आप पता करोगे कि 50 यूनिट्स बनाने में कितना रॉ मटेरियल चाहिए, वो आपको बोलेगा 150 यूनिट्स चाहिए. आप चेक करो, रिसेंटली 150 यूनिट्स आपके उस रॉ मटेरियल में से रिड्यूस हुए हैं. अगर रिड्यूस हुए हैं रिसेंटली, तो आप उनको पूछो क्या वो इधर ही यूज हुए हैं, वो कहेंगे हाँ. विच मीन्स यू कैन ऑलवेज क्रॉस चेक whether that particular item of WIP, which is now not practical to be calculated or counted, whether that actually exists or not. You can perform additional procedures to obtain audit evidence regarding the same. एक और ऑप्शन है, ये तो ऑफ कोर्स आप कर ही सकते हो. एक और आइडिया है हमारे पास जिससे हम ये चेक कर सकते हैं. अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट बन रहा है, तो या तो आप स्टॉक के लिए बनाते हो, या आपके पास कोई सेल्स ऑर्डर होगा, उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए बनाते हो. आप इनको पूछ सकते हो व्हाई आर यू मैन्युफैक्चरिंग. आप इनको पूछ सकते हो व्हाई आर यू मैन्युफैक्चरिंग these 50 यूनिट्स. आप इनको सिंपल सा क्वेश्चन पूछोगे, वो बोलोगे, वो आपको कहेंगे हमारे पास सेल्स ऑर्डर है. ध्यान देना, वो कहेंगे हमारे पास तो सेल्स ऑर्डर है. आप कहोगे ठीक है मुझे सेल्स ऑर्डर दिखाओ, वो कहेगा पार्टी डी का सेल्स ऑर्डर है. अब उसने आपको बताया पार्टी डी का सेल्स ऑर्डर है, सेल्स ऑर्डर प्रॉपर्ली डॉक्यूमेंटेड है, सेल्स ऑर्डर में कोई गलती नहीं है, it is authenticated, it is as per the internal control system, you will rely on it, which means it is reliable audit evidence. लेकिन मान लो if you come to know by any means that D is a related party, अब आपको डाउट जाएगा. अब आप क्या ट्राई करोगे? You will try and obtain direct confirmation, that is your external confirmation from party D, and you will try to involve the auditor of party D and ensure that the auditor gives you a certified statement of D that yes, this sales order is authentic. Are you getting it? These additional information, these additional steps that you are taking will help you obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. See what they have written. It says, in case the audit, in such a case, the auditor shall perform alternative audit procedures. Now, that is nothing but your additional audit procedures. Alternative audit procedures to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidences regarding the existence and condition of inventory. If it is not possible to do so, then what will the auditor do? Agar additional audit procedures be sufficient nahi hai, then the auditor will modify the audit opinion in accordance with SF 705. Right, again I am repeating for you. First, what will the auditor do when it is impractical to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence? In that case, the auditor will perform additional or alternative audit procedures to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. मान लो alternative audit procedures applicable ही नहीं है, possible ही नहीं है alternate audit procedures भी ढूंढना. In that case, the auditor will do what? He will modify the auditor's opinion in accordance with SS 705. Right, now I want to ask you a question. So everyone on your chat box, please. My question to you is, when I want to modify the audit opinion in this case, when I want to modify the audit opinion in this case, can I say there is misstatement, or the auditor is unable to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence? What will you say? What will you say? Is the auditor unable to obtain, or is there misstatement? My question to you is, of course, the auditor is unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Exactly. जब auditor के पास check करने का ही chance नहीं है, तो वो कैसे बोल सकता है there is a mistake? Absolutely perfect. Very good. What you're saying is absolutely correct. Now, my second question to you is, if the auditor is unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence, the auditor will modify the report. Modify means he has two options. He can give a qualified opinion or a disclaimer of opinion. Tell me, if the effect is material and pervasive both, what kind of audit opinion will the auditor give? If the auditor is unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence and the effect is both material and pervasive, then Aman, are you sure it will give a qualified opinion? Please check your answer. I am again repeating. The auditor is unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. The effect is material and pervasive both. Of course, you will have a disclaimer of opinion. What if it is material but not pervasive? What if it is material but not pervasive? You will, of course, give a qualified opinion. Right, so again, just in case if it is impractical to conduct inventory count for a particular inventory, what will you do in that case? You will first try to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence by using additional means alternative audit procedures. मान लो किसी वजह से वो भी possible nahi hai and you are unable to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence, then in that case you will modify the audit opinion as per 705. So in that case, you will either give a qualified opinion or you will give a disclaimer of opinion. Are you getting it? Okay, let's see. For example, if WIP in pipeline could not be verified physically, It can be valued through the experts report. तो मान लो कोई WIP आपको उसका वैल्यूएशन करना है, अब आप फिजिकली उस चीज को देख नहीं सकते तो आप वैल्यूएशन नहीं कर पाओगे, तो आप क्या करोगे? You can use the experts valuation report in that case. Are you getting it? Okay, let's look at the last question, and then I have one doubt in the chat box. We will discuss that doubt, and then I think that much is sufficient for today. Let's go to question number 5. It says, what if the inventory is in the custody of the third parties? Okay, everyone on your chat box, have we discussed about inventory being with the third party? हमने ऐसा कोई केस डिस्कस किया है कि कब इन्वेंट्री थर्ड पार्टी के पास जाती है? इफ यस, क्या एग्जाम्पल दिया था मैंने, किस चीज का एग्जाम्पल दिया था? कैन समवन एक्सप्लेन टू मी? ओके, वेरी गुड, एक्सेलेंट, वी गेव द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ अ जॉब वर्कर. अब देखो उसको कैसे चेक करना है, ध्यान देना. ये भी पूरा मैंने आपको पढ़ा दिया है जब ऐसे 500 पढ़ा था. अब देखो क्या दिया है उन्होंने. When inventory is under the custody and control of the third party and the auditor considers it material to the financial statements, the auditor should do what? The auditor should obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence regarding the existence and condition of the inventory by performing one or both of the following. तो जब भी ऑडिटर को ऐसा लगता है कि इन्वेंट्री थर्ड पार्टी के पास है, और क्योंकि इन्वेंट्री थर्ड पार्टी के पास है, इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट to understand, it is very important to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. Why? Because that inventory is material. In that case, what will the auditor do? The auditor will do one or both of the following. First point, ध्यान देना. The auditor will request confirmation from the third party regarding underline quantity and condition of inventory held by them. तो सबसे पहले ऑडिटर क्या करेगा? 505 एक्सटर्नल कंफर्मेशन ऑब्टेन करेगा. किससे? जॉब वर्कर से. वो जॉब वर्कर को कहेगा कि सर आप मुझे प्लीज राइटिंग में दीजिए आपके पास कितनी क्वांटिटी है और वो किस कंडीशन में. किस कंडीशन में मतलब क्या वो अभी भी रॉ मटेरियल फॉर्म में, या आपने उस पर काम करना चालू कर दिया और वो WIP स्टेज पे, या क्या आपने काम कंप्लीट कर दिया है और वो फिनिश प्रोडक्ट स्टेज पे. सो यू वुड लाइक टू अंडरस्टैंड फ्रॉम द जॉब वर्कर what is exactly the condition of the inventory. Is it raw material? Is it WIP, or is the job work on that particular product completed? Are you getting it? Again, when the inventory is in the control of the third party and the auditor feels that it is very important to understand this material and understand this inventory which is lying with a third party. Why? Because it is very important. In that case, what will the auditor do? The auditor will obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence by doing the following two things. The first one, he will request direct confirmation SA505 from the management and ask them कि भैया कितना क्वांटिटी का मटेरियल आपके पास है और उसका क्या कंडीशन है इस वक्त. And second, he can also perform inspection or other audit procedures in these circumstances. So he can request the job worker कि आप मुझे अपनी audit premises में आने दो, मैं physically उस चीज को verify करना चाहता हूँ. So he can physically go to the job worker's premises, and in that case he will physically go and verify whether that item is lying with the job worker or not. Are you understanding? This brings you to the end of the first part, which is inventory. So part A, inventory is done. Where question number 2, question number 4, and question number 5 are very important. Right? Question number 2, we try to understand when the auditor is obtaining sufficient and appropriate audit evidence regarding inventory, what should he do? What should he actually do? In that case, he should, in that case, attend physical inventory counting. He will evaluate the management's instruction and procedures regarding recording and controlling of the records of the inventory. He will observe the physical count. He will inspect himself the inventory, and he will also perform the test counts. Right? Performing audit procedures he will perform audit procedures to ensure कि जो भी changes stock statements में हुए वो properly final inventory records में incorporate हो गए. If the physical inventory count is conducted on any other day except the balance sheet date or except the date of the financial statements, then the auditor would like to reconcile the transactions that happened between the financial statements and the date on which the inventory counting is done. Second, the inventory counting is done on some date, on a particular date, but the auditor is unable to attend the physical inventory count on that date. Now, when the auditor is unable to attend the physical inventory count on that very date, in that case, the auditor will again reconcile that between those two dates, what are the issues and what are the receipts that have happened, and then he will reconcile the inventory. Right now, if I look at the chat box, someone has asked me a doubt on this. I'll address that doubt, then I'll go to the remaining two questions. And the doubt says, please understand everyone what the doubt is. The doubt goes this way. It says, in this case, the auditee has to keep off 2 days. That is the day on which it itself does inventory counting and the day on which the auditor performs inspection of inventory. So it's not so that the auditee will keep it close on 2 days. What the auditee can do in this case is, ध्यान देना, auditee क्या बोलेगा कि मुझे आपका रॉ मटेरियल ए चेक करना है, तो 1 घंटे के लिए रॉ मटेरियल ए का मूवमेंट बंद कर दो, क्योंकि मुझे ए को ही चेक करना है, मुझे टेस्ट चेक ए पे ही करना है. मान लो उसको ए बी सी डी 4 पे टेस्ट चेक करना है, तो ए बी सी डी का काउंट 1 घंटे में ये काम हो जाता है. बिकॉज द ऑर्डर इज नॉट गोइंग टू काउंट ईच एंड एवरी आइटम, ही इज गोइंग टू परफॉर्म टेस्ट काउंट. टेस्ट काउंट मतलब ऊपर ऊपर से क्रॉस चेक करेगा, रैंडमली चेक करेगा कि वो काउंट मैच हो रहा है या नहीं. So in this case, the auditee need not close the entire stock count, the entire movement of stock. He can temporarily, only for a short duration of time, say for example, for 1 hour, for half an hour, for 1.5 hours, he can close the movement of that stock. Right? I hope this is clear. Right? So I hope this is clear. Okay, very good. Let's go to the next one. It says, then the question number 4 says, what will the auditor do when he feels that it is impractical to conduct physical inventory counting? In that case, what will the auditor do? The auditor will perform alternative audit procedures to obtain sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. If the auditor feels that it is not possible to perform alternate audit procedures, in that case, the auditor will modify the audit report or the audit opinion as per SS 705. And finally, what if the inventory is lying with the third party? So the auditor first has to decide whether the inventory that is lying with the third party is material or not. If the inventory that is lying with the third party is material, then the auditor can obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence in the following two ways. First, he will request confirmation from the third party regarding the quantity and condition. So he will obtain direct confirmation regarding quantity and condition from the third party, and he can also physically go and perform inspection or other audit procedures as he feels appropriate in the circumstances. Are you getting it? Right, that is what we have done till now. Tomorrow we will continue with part B, which is litigations and claims, and then finally we will go to the last part, which is your part C, segment reporting, and then the standard is done. Right, before I close today, I have one doubt. Let me take that. It says, auditor will reconcile the stock between the date on which the management did the audit and the auditor took physical count, or between the financial statements. Okay, so I will say the auditor will cover both. The auditor will also calculate the day on which management took the count, what was the situation on that date, and what is the situation today, and also what is the situation today versus what was the situation on the day of the balance sheet. See, I'm reading that for you. Practically, the auditor should check both, so the auditor can get a thorough idea of what has actually happened in this case. See, it says, if the auditor is unable to attend physical inventory counting due to unforeseen circumstances, the auditor should perform some physical counts on alternative day and should reconcile the issues and receipts up to the year end balance. Matlab, let's take our example. In my example, I did the count on 15th 4. अब मुझे रिवर्स जाना है और ईयर एंड बैलेंस तक जाना है, मतलब 31st मार्च तक जाना है, तो ऑफ कोर्स बीच में 5th अप्रैल आएगा, तो वहां तक भी मैं चेक करूंगा. So I will check both 15 to 5th April and 15 to 31st March 2020. Right? I hope this is now clear to you. Right, okay, perfect. So you will again go back today, and first you will ensure that you have thoroughly completed accounting standard 19 that we finished today. Oh, sorry, there is one question left. So except that one question, you will ensure that accounting standard 19 is completed. We will be completing accounting standard 19 tomorrow. We have only one question to do. So we will finish that off, and then we will proceed with a new accounting standard. In terms of audit, you will ensure that you revise SA 501 thoroughly and come back to me for doubts, if any. Tomorrow, we should be in a position to complete 501 because there are only two small parts left, that is litigations and claims and segment reporting. Post that, again, we will then move to the next standard on auditing, right? So please ensure that you thoroughly revise, and if you have any doubts, please come back to me. And thank you so much for attending. Please revise and study with me. Do not be lazy and do not procrastinate. For God's sake, do not delay. Every practical question we are solving, I request you to solve each and every question along with me. Have a notebook, a calculator, and a pen. Prepare systematic format. See, it is not my exam. Still, I'm preparing every format with you. And I am also solving every question with you. So, since it is you who are going to appear for the exam, I request you that writing practice is very important, and you ensure that you are writing and solving every question thoroughly and properly. And if you have any doubts, please come back to me. Thank you so much for attending. And now I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock with Accounting Standard 90. Thank you.